This time I'll call the June 9th, 2022 meeting to order for the Dixon County Commission. Would you please stand and join in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Chamberlain is not able to be with us today. He did join us in part of the work study session that we had on budgets. The item we have to consider now is the approval of the agenda. There is one item to add to the agenda, and that is to go ahead and enter the agreement for the local workforce development area 1. And with that addition, I would move that we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The consent agenda includes the minutes of the June 2nd meeting and also payroll of $348,496.02.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it. Any discussion or question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Commission comments, Ron.
I did enjoy spending part of the week, the first part of this week, with the emergency preparedness training, and got a lot out of it. It was very informational. I think the folks in Dickinson County, both the city and the county, have worked well together, putting that together and working together. So that was a well amount of time spent together.
Okay. And I was able to attend some of the Windy City Tornado event or exercise, a few hours, but it also was 3 days long. So there were a lot of community partners working on that. And I think Brad's going to cover that in more detail in his report. Also, just kind of mentioning in the hallway, I had someone ask me about one of the roads, some gravel application and how that's going to be done, and something that involves the townships. Had someone else ask me about a bridge up there on 14th Street, said there is a pothole or two in it. It's a county bridge. When's the county going to take care of it? And, you know, I mean, people just say things. I mean, it's not like they're really being that abrupt. They're just getting to the point. And, you know, it's something that Brad will notify Martin and Tannehill. He's Wooden Bridge, and we'll look into, you know, making whatever repair or work needs to be done. And, you know, we're always open to the public to, if they have a comment or a question, or if they identify something that needs to be taken care of. I mean, that's what we're here for. And they also can call down here at the county. Earlier this morning, we are in our budget process. And so we heard from the county attorney, our county clerk, and also Register of Deeds, and they all gave us the reports and in regards to their budget and a little bit of an update. And, you know, so far it looks like in those particular departments, there aren't really any particular changes as far as the expenses from year to year, other than we did increase salaries. And so as far as salaries and some of the benefits, that's probably going to be where there'll be more noticeable changes. And also they commented on if they were fully staffed or so on, and we do have openings in a few of our departments. And also anyone can go to the website and find out about any openings if they're looking for job opportunity. That's all I have. Are there any comments from the public? And this would be your opportunity. You'd need to give your name and address if you had a comment. And we allow 3 minutes for comments on anything that is not particularly on the agenda. I don't believe we have anything, or do we, Brad? Or
not so far, no.
So we'll go ahead and move on past that. We do not have any petitions. We do have a proclamation. And is there someone online in regards to that proclamation?
No, there's not.
Okay. I'll go ahead and read the proclamation. This was sent to us. It's Elder Abuse Awareness Month, June 2022. Whereas according to the National Council of Aging, 1 in 10 seniors in America experience mistreatment or abuse, including domestic and sexual violence, financial exploitation, and neglect. Whereas abusers of older adults are both women and men and are usually family members, caregivers, healthcare workers, or other trusted individuals. And due to the shame, fear, and other barriers elders face in reporting abuse, only a limited number of victims are able to get help they need. And whereas elders throughout the United States lose an estimated $2.6 billion or more annually due to elder financial abuse and exploitation, such as illegal taking, misuse, or concealment of funds, property, or assets of a senior's for another's benefit. And whereas too often the elder abuse threatens the livelihood of older individuals, erodes their extraordinary potential, and increases their risk of death by 300% compared to seniors who have not been mistreated. And whereas Dickson County's vulnerable and older adults of all social, economic, racial, and ethnic backgrounds may be targets of abuse, neglect, or exploitation, which can occur in families, long-term care communities, and medical settings. Whereas we all have a responsibility to support the safety, welfare, and dignity of the older adults and must work towards ending elder abuse by assisting victims and assessing the information and supportive services they need, creating better and more resources for older adults in need, instituting effective intervention and prevention policies, and engaging in discussion with family members and peers to promote awareness and the prevention of the quiet epidemic of elder abuse. Now, therefore, the Dickson County Commissioners hereby proclaim June 2022 as Elder Abuse Awareness Month in Dickson County and urge all citizens to work together to protect elder adults from abuse, neglect, and exploitation, because it is imperative that we refuse to tolerate the indignity of elder abuse. I would move that we go ahead and adopt this proclamation.
I'll second it.
Okay. We have the motion and the second. Any other comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'll get this to our clerk, so we'll have it on record, and also can we'll get that to the group that sent that in. The next item we have is a report of county officers. So Brad.
Okay, you've got the budget reports from Janelle. So year-to-date budgets. The good news with that is the sales tax continues to increase. I think we almost, month of March is almost where we were for December, so that's really good news. So we hope that continues that trend. We did do bids, took bids for E10 fuel for unleaded fuel this week. Sapp Brothers again got the bid at $4.16 a gallon. I keep thinking that'll be $3 or $2 again someday, but I'm not so sure. So that's going to have a tremendous impact on our budget as we go through the year. So as you guys mentioned, we did do the exercise Monday through yesterday with the Windy City tornado here in Abilene. And just a little background on that, that's an exercise that we had consultants in here from all over the United States helping put on that training. And it was done with participants from the county and the city of Abilene in this area, and I thought it went extremely well. I'm going to estimate that there were probably about 75 people, participants and trainers involved in that, which brought over $70,000 worth of money into the county as far as motels and meals and different things. So it's a second time that's been done in the state of Kansas. First time was in Franklin County in Ottawa in 2019. And I know Chancey went down and participated in that, and I got good reports back. So with that, he wanted to bring something similar here. And I know he's been planning it for 2 or 3 years, and it was postponed last year because of the pandemic. And so we finally were able to pull it off. And kudos to Chancey for doing all the hard work and getting that all put together, and I'm sure he's certainly relieved to have it go, be done, number one, but to have it go as well as it did. So when the dust all cleared and the disaster was over with yesterday about 2 o'clock, why, I know that I feel more comfortable knowing that if something like that does happen here, we've got even more people trained and prepared, especially with the city of Abilene being the largest community in our county. I think from talking to the city manager, I think Ron and his staff feels more prepared and felt that it went very good. And so it can't help but hurt. Can't help but help, I guess. We do everything we can to be prepared, and that's just one more tool in the toolbox. So very pleased the way it went. On the downside, earlier this week or late last week, Martin notified me that they discovered a hole in the bridge down at 500 Rain Road. That's a 100-foot brick concrete structure that has a pretty substantial sized hole in it. We put a metal plate on it to get by for a while. We'll see what happens. But I think the reading between the lines, that tells us that that one's going to be one that's going to need to be replaced during the next couple of years. That is a big concrete bridge. Right now, the sufficiency rating is higher than would make it eligible for federal funding or assistance. So we'll potentially wait and see what our engineering consultant says, whether or not we can wait till it's inspected, see if that sufficiency rating goes down to the point where it would be eligible for funding. So,
Well, Martin or someone else, I mean, I'm sure they do kind of take a look around the bridge and other points or underneath and just see if there's any signs of any areas where another hole might appear.
Yes,
And it may not, but
and I know they did that when they went down immediately the other day. And Martin said they had called Dave Beach, which is our bridge inspector, to have him come out and take a look at it and actually have a bridge expert look at it and see what's going on and see if we need to be more concerned than just putting a metal plate on it or whether we think that'll get us by for a while. So obviously this isn't one that we had in our budget. So as we go into budgets, if we look at what we're paying for the one on Rain Road, which is a very similar bridge, it's bigger than a bread box, folks. So it's going to cost. I mean, we're looking at probably $1.3 million, I would guess. So by the time it's all said and done, and it's not one, like I say, that we had in our scope. So it's a surprise, and we don't like surprises. So I did get a request from the township, Liberty Township, to vacate a half-mile stretch of 1500 Avenue between Union and Utah roads. That, according to them, it's no longer of value to the county. So we will do our research on that, and probably next week I'll have a notice of hearing prepared for you and start that process. If it looks like it's one that can be vacated and doesn't cause a landlock issue for any property owners or any issues of that nature. And then if you guys want to drive down and look at it sometime before you do the vacate, we can certainly do that and schedule it for a public hearing. So, and then just a last minute reminder that our open house is actually Saturday. We've been preparing for that, but it'll be this Saturday from 10 until 3 p.m. And we will have the whole courthouse open, less the jail. The jail will not be open for public touring, but we'll have the courthouse and the new sheriff's department will be open for the public to see. And we're excited to be able to show off the fruits of the hard work that's taken place the last couple of years. So we'll have some giveaways and we'll have some door prizes and registration for that. And look forward to seeing people come in. That's all I've got.
thank you. Doug?
So we have started on the next tax sale. We finished the one earlier this year and had 34 parcels. This year, right now, we have 168 parcels of real estate. And so we're in the process of dividing those parcels between the two title companies. As soon as we have that back, we'll move forward with the foreclosure actions on it. And that may be something here by early winter, midwinter, somewhere along in there. I don't know just yet. But 168 parcels is about 5 times what we had on the last sale. So significant number. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that more than we normally have at the beginning too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
And the reason was, of course, from COVID, for several years, we couldn't do, 2 years, we couldn't do any tax sales. So they have multiplied.
So it's piled up. Okay.
Got piled up.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank
All
you.
I got.
Okay, under notices and communications, we did receive from the city of Abilene, they are going to have a groundbreaking event to celebrate a new home construction in Abilene. This is going to be out in the Golden Belts Heights area. Of course, there's two sides of that. This is on the east side. That's on Northwest 14th Street, also sometimes considered Old 40, and then you go north on Van Buren. And so they'll have remarks from Mayor D. Marshall, and also the Kansas Lieutenant Governor David Toland will be in attendance. We did also have our magazine that we get on government technology, and that's pretty much all we had. Ron, did you have anything, or anybody else receive any comment, email that they'd want to bring up?
I have nothing.
Okay. We'll go ahead and move on. We do not have any resolutions to consider, but we do have, and this was added to our agenda, an agreement with the local workforce development area. And of course, there's various workforce development areas in the state of Kansas. And so it's part of a statewide system that also receives federal funding. And so we need to have this agreement entered. Brad, is there anything you'd want to add to this comment wise, or is it pretty much self-explanatory?
Well, it's just that we belong to 69 other counties. It's the Workforce One, Region 1, I think it is. And the whole purpose behind that organization is to connect employers with potential employees. And so they do have a pretty robust website, and I think it benefits us to participate in that to help our employers and to help out anybody looking for employment. So there is no cost to us to do that. We just have to participate and officially be members. So.
And it is part of Kansas Works, I think, is a part of that. It helps not only in workforce development, but also if people are in situations where there's disabilities, situations where people are coming out of prison. I mean, they try to connect potential employees with employers, and so they work on behalf. Also, if there's something where there's any layoffs, they have a rapid response team that comes in, and they meet on a regular basis, typically in Topeka. And by federal guidelines, they have representatives that are from elected officials to large employers, and from all the various stakeholders, you might say, that have to do with workforce development. So they do a lot of work across the state of Kansas. I've moved that we go ahead and enter this agreement with the local workforce development.
I'll second that.
We have the motion and second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We do not have any unfinished business or other business to look into. Are there any other comments or anything to bring up before we adjourn?
I have nothing.
I would move that we adjourn.
I'll second it.
We have the motion and second to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.